What if I told you that you don't actually need to memorize the entire periodic table to use it in chemistry? By the end of this video, you'll know how to read the periodic table, what the groups and periods are, how to predict an element's properties, and most importantly, how to use the periodic table to answer exam questions. So don't just look at all these boxes as a list of elements. I'm going to show you the pattern hidden inside the table, and once you see it, the periodic table starts making sense. First, the periodic table arranges elements in order of increasing proton number, also called the atomic number. Look at the numbers running across the top. These are groups, and there are 18 groups. Groups are the vertical columns. Now look from the top to bottom. These horizontal rows are called periods. Here's the important part. Elements in the same group have the same number of outer shell electrons, except for the special case of helium. And because their outer electrons are similar, elements in the same group tend to have similar chemical properties. Now let's look at the main groups. Starting on far left, the blue section is group 1, the alkali metals. They have one outer electron, are very reactive and form +1 ions. Their reactivity generally increases as you go down the group. Next is group 2, the alkaline earth metals. They have two outer electrons and usually form 2+ ions. They are reactive, although generally less reactive than group 1 metals. Now look at the large orange section in the center. These are transition elements or transition metals. They are metals with useful properties such as good electrical conductivity and high melting points, and many form colored compounds. Now move to the right side of the table. The pink section is group 17, the halogens. These are reactive nonmetals with 7 outer electrons. They tend to gain 1 electron and form -1 ions. An important trend to remember is that halogen reactivity decreases as you go down the group. Finally, at the far right, we have group 18, the noble gases. They have full outer electron shell, making them very unreactive. Helium is exception to the usual group electron pattern because its first shell is full within just 2 electrons. But what about the other elements? The colored section between the transition metals and group 18 contain the other main group elements, including group 13 to 16, and the two rows separate at the bottom are called lanthides and actinides. Now here's an extremely useful exam idea. The group tells about the number of outer shell electrons, while the period tells you the number of occupied shell electrons. So for example, an element is group 1, period is 3, and it has 1 outer electron and 3 occupied electron shells. And that's the pattern behind the entire periodic table. Same group, similar outer electron, similar chemical properties. So don't try to memorize a periodic table as hundreds of separate boxes. Learn the pattern and the periodic table starts working for you.